Hey beautiful, welcome to today's episode. Just a really quick note about today's episode. I actually lost my main recording 12 minutes into the podcast. And as luck would have it, I was trialing a secondary camera to record multiple angles of the pod. So I ended up having a second copy, which was amazing because I thought I'd lost it. And this is a really good episode. However, the secondary camera wasn't connected to the pod mic, this pod mic that I use. So you will notice that the audio, my speaking, changes just before the 13th minute and becomes a little echoey. And I do apologize. However, I'm so grateful I had that secondary B-roll going because it meant I didn't lose the pod. So enjoy today's episode. You'll hear the change. Know that it's just me flicking from camera A to camera B. And just enjoy the episode. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hello, beautiful cutie booty. Welcome back to the Bod Pod. I hope you've been well. I hope that you have been really, really well. And the last few weeks you have been sinking deeply into the joys of your life. We've been talking a lot lately on the Bod Pod about deep living. And I really hope, my sister, that you have been implementing some of these things because I'm so excited for you if you have been. It really does make such a big difference. So yay for you. I want to celebrate you actually for being here, for being part of BDYPos, the club, because if you're here, if you enjoy this content and if you have become part of this community, it means that you've had a rough trot. It means that you have struggled with your self-image, with your self-esteem, with your confidence, and therefore you have spent a lifetime not living to your best abilities and not being able to enjoy things to the best of your ability. And if you're here, it means that you're ready to change that you're going to address that, and that you are finally fed up with living for other people, living in the cold, hard chains of expectations that are served to us, not asked or not given politely, but expectations that are planted on us as women. And, you know, it's so hard to start uncoiling the chains, but if you're here, you are. So good for you. Well done, you. Shit be hard, but we can do hard things, and it's so worth it at the end of the day. So thank you for being here. Things been really good for us lately. A few weeks ago, I released the Feminine Season 2.0 collection. So what the hell is that about? Okay. Yes. The Feminine Season 2.0, it's a whole bunch of things. It all started because the consistent feedback I've been getting from my customers for the t-shirts is that they would love to see lower necklines, lighter material, longer shirts with better length, but still be cute and flattering. And why? Because as it turns out, when I launched BDYPos, I guess as with anyone who feels like they've found a purpose, you're often healing your own journey. And I guess I anticipated to a degree that my customer would be variations of myself. And it's the data after 18 months of BDYPos that has come back and shown me who my target audience is. And a big sexy chunk of that is women that are 40 to 60. And I thought, how freaking beautiful that it's speaking to them. And I really started to notice a correlation and pattern with women in that age bracket who are finally ready to be embracing a confident standpoint on their own well-being, and who are finally fed up with society's bullshit and are actually like, I don't actually care anymore. It's like, I remember you turn 30 and the shits start to just go. Like, you just stop giving shits, and it feels so liberating. It's the beginning of a great empowerment journey. In your 20s, you think 30's the end, but then actually 30's the beginning of this whole amazing chapter where you don't care anymore, and it feels good. But these women who are, a decade into that, they've got some real good juju happening, and they are really empowered, and they are ready to embody the quality of a BDYPos woman. So these are a huge part of my market. And these women were giving me the feedback, love your shirts, love the designs, really sits with my ethos. However, girl's going to be going through some changes and I need to be comfortable. That is my main priority. And I won't buy shirts that I'm not comfortable in because, you can't sit there in a hot flush and have a high neckline or a heavy GSM. So I'm like, okay, I hear you. And so I started thinking about, okay, well, how can I cater? So I did some more research. The blanks that I source for BDYPos come from AS Color, which is a very premium tier wholesale blank supplier. I don't manufacture my own shirts yet, something that I want to do because that can really help me cover that inclusivity chapter. As a BDYPos brand, we really want to be inclusive. And that means having size options that range the full spectrum of what a woman's body could look like. But because I'm still small and, I'm not generating enough money to start generating my own blank apparel because the overheads obviously are larger and I have to order minimum quantities and testing the market. It's a lot of upfront costs, which I'm willing to do once I have the means to do so. So at the moment, I source through AS Color. They have a catalog of women's clothing, and guess what? They don't cover the full spectrum of women's bodies. They have lots of different styles, but some of them, like some fun, quirky styles and different color ranges, only go up to XL. They only go up to XL. I can't deal. And that hurts me because I feel bad if someone has asked for a certain kind of shirt. I put it on the website, but it only goes to XL. Well, guess what? A huge chunk of my market's going to be like, oh, I like that shirt. They're going to navigate to it, see the sizing limitations, and then feel shit about themselves. And that's fucked, and that's not what I want. But I have to work with the means that I have, which means that sometimes I just have to take what I've got available and then offer further sizing in the other areas I have available. So for context there, all of my general t-shirts, the oversize, the main collection, the core collection, you'll notice that most of them are just in a few colors. I don't have crazy amount of different colors. And this is because I can only source up to the end of the women's sizing guidelines in those colors, and I can only do it in these styles of tees, in the oversized tees or in the general unisex tees, or in some of the other tanks I can get as well. But when we start to get to like more stylized, tailored t-shirts, such as V-necks or like the one I'm wearing right now, which has a lower neckline and the cap sleeve, the size range only goes up to a women's 3XL, which would be the equivalent of perhaps a 22 max. And that's rough. And then so I have to acknowledge that I put these shirts up there and I'm going to be excluding some of my beautiful women and potentially making them feel excluded and shit. And I don't want that. But if I don't, then I can't get anything up there. So I just, at this point, I've got to pick my battles. And it's a bit suck-holy, to be fair, but a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And the more I can grow, then I can start ferreting away all of this money, and then eventually it is my hope that I can find a ethical supplier that I can create my own shirts for in all of the fun styles for all of the beautiful bodies. So the Feminine Season 2.0. So this collection, it's a new cut of shirt that I've found through AS Color that caters to all of the feedback that I've been getting from this large cohort of my customers that have appeared in my data. So the whole purpose was to create something that when a woman, it doesn't even have to be, I'm using a lot of marketing toward perimenopause and menopausal women. One, because I just like to talk about it, and I feel like these words and these moods of women's lives need to be more apparent, more discussed, more normalized as a very important change in season for a woman. And we've all, not maybe all of us, but I know I grew up even in an empowered family. Perimenopause and menopause still somehow felt like a dirty word or something a woman should be ashamed of somehow. So I'm on a bit of a mission to say these things as much as I can. The Feminine Season 2.0, the name in itself is a nod toward the second season of our lives, the most empowering season of our lives. And yes, we have huge biological changes during these periods, and it's fucking rough. I saw a quote the other day that said something like, menopause is a shit show. It's like high school all over again, except this time I like myself.
So, I thought that was pretty cool because God knows, those hormonal changes when you're a teenage girl, they're rough and everything feels so heavy and detrimental at the time. But with the, I guess, silver lining of, but this time I'll like myself, I'm feeling like there's some real power in that. Like, I'm feeling like, yes, we'll have to be battling a whole suite of unfavorable symptoms of these seasonal changes, but why not embrace the storm? Let's just fucking get on with it and be like, this is my time of power. My pain is power. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. Good thing I can do hard things. Good thing that I'm okay with discomfort because I'm an absolute badass, right? For me, I'm 36, so I'll be knocking on perimenopause's door very, very shortly, if not already. So I'm not bringing this collection because it's really front of mind for me. It's something that's coming up for me, but it's because these women are incredible. They need to be comfortable, and they also need to have a collection dedicated to them because, again, the market, it's so competitive, the women's apparel market, but guess what? It's not competitive when we're talking about the niche of women above a certain age going through changes that have requirements that no one caters to, no one talks about, no one wants to bring it up. So I'm like, well, guess what? I'm going to. I've got the freaking audacity and the lady gonads to do it. I'm going to specifically create this, and not excluding women who aren't in these seasons, but I'm actually going to do a lot of heavy marketing to the women that are in this season so that they know that in BDYPos, in our ecosystem, we shine a beautiful golden light on this event of our lives. And in fact, we love it so much and want to support it so much that we have a whole collection of t-shirts to help you feel empowered and comfortable during this season of your life. And if that's not badassery, I don't know what is. Fucking kudos to BDYPos and to bringing this. Like, it feels good, it feels right. And I'm keen, I'm excited. So I'm wearing one of the collection today. If you're watching the YouTube video or the Spotify video, this is a nice saucy little number called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And you can see the cut of the shirt. It's feminine, it's elegant, it looks good, it's flattering, it's cool. And the designs pack a punch, like a real solid punch. So that's all going really well. If you haven't seen it already, please go check it out. And of course, we have bundling options because we know we need to save money for snacks. So please utilize the bundle options and get yourself a deal. Yeah. All right. So do you know, in my ponderings of late, and not really of late, I've always noticed women, a lot of women feel very uncomfortable wearing shorts, and a lot of women feel so debilitated by their self-image that they actually won't wear shorts, not even in the middle of summer. I remember a specific scenario well before BDYPos, well before my kids even. I think I was in my mid-20s. I was part of a group of women that were exercising together. It was like a June challenge or something like that. And I was walking with a woman and I was just wearing shorts. She was wearing pants. And where I live, the summers are hot. And she was so hot. And she looked at me and she was like, oh God, you look cool in those shorts. I wish I could wear shorts, but I just can't do it. I simply can't. Like, I'm not comfortable. I'd rather just sweat it out. And at the time, in my mind, I just felt shock. And we had a little conversation about it, and we ended up discussing how she should just be brave because she's got daughters, and she was also worried that she was giving her daughters the wrong message. So it was on her mind. Yet that, even thinking about her daughter's well-being and how she should be leading by example, still wasn't enough to motivate her to find the confidence and dig deep to put on a pair of shorts to exercise in the middle of summer in rural New South Wales. And I just, that was part of the time of my life where I was really starting to collate all these scenarios in my head and notice this national crisis that was on our hands with almost every woman. And I started to tuning in to hearing the way women were talking about themselves and noticing that it was every single one, every woman, negative opinion about themselves, unable to experience life the way they should,
always ratting on themselves in a bad way. But yeah, this one always stuck in my mind. And so now, whenever the instance comes across my day-to-day where I notice that a woman is clearly not comfortable in shorts or not wearing shorts, even in hot weather, and I notice it and I think, far out. And I felt it before too, you know, having the want to wear a certain pair of shorts, whether it be for comfort or for style, putting them on, looking at my legs and going, oh, fuck no, like, that's impossible, can't do that, that's disgusting, no one, I look filth, even though I absolutely don't. But that is the curse of low self-esteem. You can't see the reality because you've got a narrative already in your head, and you can't, as much as it's nonsensical, without having the tools and the perspective, you can't talk yourself off that bridge. So it's huge. And even when I've been talking about this podcast, preempting it and just testing, you know, the responses, so many women have come out. TikTok went off about it, you know, yes, saying the same thing. I'm X amount of years old, I've never wore shorts, you know, and the responses on my other socials as well. Like, it's not okay. There's so much to unpack here. Why are women collectively afraid to wear a pair of shorts? Because for fear of judgment and scrutiny from others, that they will be labeled as unappealing and less desirable because their legs are showing. It's so hard and difficult, and when you comprehend it in that manner, you think, how could that be true? But it is. It is true that women are actually, number one, we're telling ourselves that our needs are less important than the opinion of others, because even though we want to be comfortable and cool, we're putting that aside and making ourselves uncomfortable and hot to prevent somebody forming a negative opinion on us. That is also an assumption that they will have that opinion, an assumption that anyone's looking at all. And then further to that, if they did form a bad opinion of us, giving them the power to do so and giving them the power to hold your value and validation instead of your own. So letting them choose whether you're a good or bad person, letting them choose whether you're appealing or not, or have value or not. So we're assuming that they're thinking that we're bad, and then we're letting them own that thought and make it the truth. So the whole situation from start to finish is just royally fucked up, and it's all within our heads. It's all based on assumption. Let's talk worst case scenario. Someone's looking at you in your shorts. They can see you've got white legs, hair, moles, and cellulite. They're thinking, oh dear Lord, that woman, look at those legs. Well, at the end of the day, let them fucking think that. Who cares? What are they going to do? Tell you? If they do, they're an asshole. What else are they going to do? Think that? Go tell someone else? Again, they're just an asshole. Why would we limit ourselves and our own happiness to appease a random asshole whose opinion doesn't fucking matter anyway? Excuse my language, but seriously. So let's first remember that overall, us telling ourselves that our comfort is not as important as the assumption of the opinion of others. When we catch ourselves doing that, we really need to call it out for what it is. It's nonsensical. It's something that it's a learned habit and reaction, but it can be unlearned. And when we start to do this thought pattern, it is imperative that you stop it and call it out for what it is. And even as simple as saying, not today, motherfucker. Just change your thought pattern, fight back the critic that's going off in there, and tell it, not today, motherfucker. So my inner critic, I've given it the name Voldemort. And Voldemort is sassy, and flamboyant and has a sharp tongue and is sometimes funny but also just generally a bit of a dickhead. When Voldemort is giving me these spiels, I recognize that it's Voldemort. I recognize it's not me and that it's my negatively geared brain. Biology again, thank you very much. I've given it a name because then I can separate that voice from me and I can tell it to shut the fuck up. So think of a name that makes you feel grossed and triggered. Give it to your inner critic. Create a persona. Give them a face. And in your mind, when they start to give you shit, tell them where to go. It feels good. And it actually really, really helps. It's based in therapy and psychology. All right. So I know why you're here. You're here to hear the Wear the Shorts framework. So through my musings of pondering this crisis that we find ourselves in, I had decided to start to unpack it. And in doing so, I've created a 5-step framework. Yes, I know. We're talking buzzwords here, but there's a purpose behind this. And the whole point of the Bod Pod here is for me to bring you the tools that I use so that with any luck, they can help you do the same. And the way I like to function is in frameworks and tools and little affirmations. And so it's just easier for us to digest. If we have a framework to follow, then we can making the actual physical effort to run through a framework. It's not just being nerdy. It's your thought patterns. Frameworks for your thought patterns are really beneficial because it helps create habits and it helps reframe the wiring in our brain. And our neuroplasticity loves it. It loves repeat. So if we've got a framework to follow and we're repeating that every time we have the cause to do so, for example, every time we wear our shorts, if we're implementing the shorts framework, then we are actually recreating our thought patterns and therefore untraining the negative biases and we're quietening Voldemort's voice because we've started to create these new pathways. So it's pretty incredible. All right, so let's dive in about how to wear shorts comfortably and confidently. So we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it memorable. And that's why it's the S.H.O.R.T.S method. S.H.O.R.T.S. S.H.O.R.T.S. Easy to remember, easy to teach. Number 1, S. Shorts, S. The S in shorts stands for shift the story. So before you even put the shorts on, it's a mental game, right? This is a mental game. It starts and ends in our brains, and the ability to move on from this predicament, we have the power to do so within our thoughts. So we don't hate shorts. We don't hate wearing shorts. We don't hate the apparel. We don't hate them. It's the narrative attached to the shorts that we hate. It's the story that's been given to having exposed legs. It comes down to the legs, not the shorts, in fact. So shifting the story, we're understanding that the shorts aren't the problem. It's the way we think about our own thighs, our own legs. It's us telling ourselves, your legs aren't nice, so you shouldn't wear shorts. You don't have the body for it. Now, I can absolutely relate to this. Even as you are aware, I've struggled my whole adult life with my self-image, and my legs are a huge part of that. Even when I've been small on the scales, my legs have a certain shape, and it's not the shape of a Victoria's Secret supermodel. They are pudgy and cankly and trunkish. Even when I'm lightweight and at like my smallest points, the shape of them is the shape of them. And that's always bothered me because the gold standard is 6 foot long and, teeny ankles or whatever, which is bullshit. But that's the narrative that was hammered into my brain for all those years. So we get this opinion of our legs. We tell ourselves they're no good. Our brain checks it off as realistic and truthful, even though that's a perception. because our brains actually don't know what is factually true or not. Our brains only use the data that's ever been exposed to. So if you've only ever exposed your brain to this is right and this is wrong, then when you are sense checking if something's right or wrong, it's going to only use the facts you've ever given it. And if nothing's ever been different to that, it's going to say, yep, seems legit, tick, legs are shit. Is it actually a fact? No. The actual fact is that women's legs vary in shapes and sizes and colors and textures. That is a fact. A fact is that no two legs are the same. There is no perfect one right way for a leg to be. Legs are legs. Legs are built to get us from A to B, to keep us standing upright, to kick asses with. And they come in all, there's nothing more truer than the fact that women's legs come in all shapes and sizes. That's the fact. So the narrative we've always given to ourselves, like my thighs are too big, or my cellulite is gross, or I should tone up before, I'll delay my happiness and next summer I'll have better legs and that's when I'll wear my first pair of shorts. People will judge me. I'll be excluded from good society. They think that I'm gross because I've got big legs. We've been handed this gold standard. That's not a gold standard at all. We've been given that through the exposure of the media, but it doesn't make it the truth. And unpacking all of that, a woman has legs. What are they for? Walking. What do they should look like? It doesn't matter. As long as they function, as long as they are keeping you happy, as long as you're cool so that you can get through your day without having to have an additional worry about being uncomfortable in your damn extra long pants. If we could go back and start to realize, when did my legs become the problem? It'll probably correlate around the same time as when we started to feel fear of judgment from others. So around that time where our need to belong was really, really important. That was, I guess, we entered high school. The sense of needing to belong. Our friends became number one, not our family anymore. Their opinion in that hierarchical society of high school, and that gratification of being accepted and even adored became the most important thing. And so other people's opinions of us became the measuring stick on our own value. Now, when we're teenagers, we don't know any different. But we're not teenagers anymore. We're women. Who gives a shit what anyone thinks? You own your body, you own your life experience. You want to seek joy and comfort and happiness, then do not let any grimy little wankers who may form a bad opinion of you stop you from that. Don't let them stop you. Okay, that was S. Whew. Mate, I'm fired up today. H in short, S.H.O.R.T.S. H stands for honor your comfort. Comfort first. Confidence and having confidence in yourself doesn't mean suffering. It doesn't mean suffering. It doesn't mean that you have to wear the latest trends of clothes to feel confident. So, maybe this summer all the rage is denim booty shorts. And you put them on and you just don't like the feeling of having your ass cheeks hanging out of your shorts. Or maybe you do. Great, I love it. Why not? But being confident in a pair of shorts doesn't mean that you have to wear something that's trending to feel accepted and part of the vibe, part of the trend, and that's going to, make you feel like you've got value. No, confidence doesn't have to mean disregarding your comfort at all. A comfort checklist, for yourself. It might be a good idea to get high-waisted pants so that you feel secure and tucked in. Maybe you want a longer inseam. So a longer inseam meaning that a longer pair of shorts instead of a shorter pair of shorts. Or maybe you're really, really comfortable in a shorter pair because you need the breathability of having less fabric over your thigh. Softer fabric over stiff fabric, like people love a good linen. I don't, because I find it scratchy. Maybe you prefer cotton shorts, like a nice tracky duck set, or maybe you like your seamless because they suck you in. knitted fabric, or maybe you prefer like a nice, really soft lycra. Whatever it is, find out what makes you feel comfortable and put that in your comfort checklist for your shorts shopping. Also, a size range is really beneficial. So I'm not sure if you know this yet, but women's bodies fluctuate. We change. We change seasonally, we change weekly, we change yearly. That's not going to stop. And that's just the way it is. So it might be beneficial to have a range so that on a day, maybe you're mid-cycle in your luteal phase and you're starting to feel bloated or something like that, have a pair of shorts that is the size up, or in a softer cut. Maybe it's not something with a drawstring, maybe it's something that has elastic. Have a range of shorts for your different levels, and don't be afraid to get a pair that fits you better. And don't spiral and go, oh God, I have to size up and go buy a pair of shorts that fits me. Just understand and know that your body's always changing. It doesn't mean you're going to stay this size forever. It doesn't mean that you're going to be bigger or smaller, or it does mean you will be bigger or smaller. Just accept that as part of our journey and get yourself a short for every occasion, so that you don't have to think too hard about, this is, oh God, all my shorts are a size 10, nothing's going to fit, I'll just have to wear the pants. Be like, oh, actually, I've got that size 12 pair that are really comfy with the drawstring waist. Perfect. Yay. I've got shorts for every occasion. And, the thing as well, a sneak little fun fact about the women's apparel industry in Australia, there's no set size guidelines, believe it or not. I know that we have size 8 to size 24, 30, but the actual centimetre sizing, or inches as it is in the industry, it's not a set standard. Men, however, have a set inch standard. So they have literal one size guide, inch per waist, that is then reflected across majority of the different brands. Women's are not the same. You have people like Big W who make like larger versions of size 8, size 10. They're actually got 10 centimetre further diameter than something you might find at JJ's or Jeans West. They'll have size 8 to 20, but the actual centimetres within that are all whatever the hell they want. And that's actually really bad industry behaviour, but they do it for reasons, because then they're trying to grab certain markets. But what it means then is that if you have low self-esteem and you have, a size 10 pair of pants, and you're like, I'm a size 10, and you've put value in that size, and you think size 10's right, and that's not too bad, and that's acceptable. But then you buy another pair of shorts from a different shop in a size 10, you put them on and you can't get them up over your ass, and you think, holy crap, I'm a whale, what happened? Nothing happened, babe, except for the shitty industry size guidelines that women have in Australia. So, with your comfort, H for honouring your comfort, give yourself a selection of shorts in different size, shapes, textures, fabrics. Therefore, you can always pick the correct pair for you at that time. Always knowing that women and you, bodies will be changing. It's a fact. Okay, so we've done S-H-O. O for own the mirror moment. So this is where we start to spiral, right? So we've put our shorts on, we've got them over our butts, they're hugging us, we can't quite get the button together. We're in the mirror, and then, the lighting's bad, you can see every hair and dimple, and you start to spiral. You start to go, ugh, yuck, I look terrible, my legs are shit, I should never have put these on. And we start to really feed into that narrative and reiterate those neuro pathways that we're trying to remove. When we start affirming them, they're just compounding, and we're just really reassuring that narrative and just giving it fuel. So when you're in front of the mirror, first of all, if you start spiraling, that's when you need to stop and neutralize the thought pattern. So you could, to stop that thought train, You can look around the room and name 3 things that are green. You can name something you can hear, something you can see, something you can smell. You need to implement a tool to stall that thought pattern. And then once you've stopped the thought pattern, you can take a deep breath and we can start to do some neutral thinking. You don't need to jump straight into, no, I want to be body positive. Oh, girl, rock those shorts. You look so good, because you're probably not going to believe yourself. Like, that's a big jump. But we've neutralized the negative thought pattern while we're standing in front of the mirror. We can do some neutral thinking as well. Look at yourself as if you were your own best friend, or look at yourself as if you are 80 years old and you're looking at the whatever age you are now version of you. Look at her with compassion. Look at her, see how she's hurting, see how she's trying. Look at her and think, don't you dare listen to the opinions of others. You are a beautiful person. You're a beautiful woman. You're banging. You got this. You know, your significant other loves your booty. You know you've been perved on. I think you look banging. It's more about, is this the style we like? Am I going out to have a good time? You have legs. You can breathe. You know, you've got eyes to see. Just start reaffirming some more neutral, softer, positive affirmations about yourself. Start looking at yourself with compassion. Think, oh, you poor bitch, you've been through enough. Let's dig out the size 14 pair of black comfy track shorts and jazz it up with a nice BDYPos t-shirt. That's going to be our look today, and that's going to make us feel better. Did everyone hear the subtle marketing ploy I just did there? Sorry about that. Anyway, but you know, that's what I mean. Like, so find compassion for the woman in the mirror. Look at her as if she's your best friend or she's the younger version of you, and tell her, you've done enough worrying. Now's time to live your life. Now's time to let go of the need to seek approval from others. Say, bye bitch, we're not doing that anymore. Put on your comfy shorts, put on the backup pair, put on a skirt, it doesn't matter. Do something to make you feel good, but do not spend another minute looking in that mirror and giving yourself grief, because you don't deserve it anymore. You've done it enough. Our time with that is finished. You want to give yourself some neutral commentary, give yourself a bit of love, bit of hype girl attitude, be respectful towards yourself, show yourself that self-respect, and then be done with it, and then walk away. So R, the R in shorts, regulate. Regulate before you leave. So this is just practical psychology, really. The anxiety spike usually will happen right before we're leaving the house, all right? So we've already put the shorts on and we're gone, okay, we're going to do it. It's fine. Then we go, we get a handbag, or we get the kids, or we go and put the dog out, whatever it is we're doing. But then right before, when we get to the door or when we get in the car, we're like, oh, maybe I should change. At that point, you just need to take a deep breath or do some 4x4 breathing. This is one my son taught me. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. All the way through for 5 breaths. Put your shoulders back, relax your jawline, and just say to yourself, I'm safe, I'm actually fine, and I'm allowed to be comfortable. And I'm allowed not to care what other people think of me. Have another deep breath. And then step out. Off you go. Take on the world. Give yourself a moment to regulate. We don't need to re-spiral, but we need to acknowledge we're still feeling a little bit anxious about it. Take a breath. Give yourself permission to be how you want to be. Say it out loud. It might not sound like much, but it does make a huge difference. So number T, letter T, the T in shorts, the T in the shorts method. Take the focus off you. So the hard truth is that Nobody really gives a shit, to be fair. Also, think about the other women. Let's just say you're going to the beach, all right, and you're worried about wearing your boardies to the beach because you've got a big bum and you think it's no good. So we've already determined, okay, most people are too busy doing whatever they're doing to care. But also, let's just say they do care. The women there, most of those women, the ones that we should even allow to accommodate in our minds, they see a woman at the beach and she's a bigger girl or a smaller girl or an older girl, and you know, she's out there living her best life. They're going to look at them and think, yes, look at that woman go. They're going to be like, yeah, because she gets it. The other woman gets it. The other women around you, they get it. They get the same, they've got the same fear. We've all, you know, we have like a secret unspoken club. When I see, like when I was postpartum and my body had changed very, very drastically, and I still had my new body after my second child, we had swimming lessons, and I made myself go out in the clothes I was comfortable in because I knew that I was okay, and I was battling the demons. I felt the fear, but I did it anyway. But as I looked at the other women around me, all the women in all of their diversity and all of their different bottoms, I loved them. I sent them love. I probably looked creepy staring at them and smiling. Surprised I didn't get arrested. But I look at them with compassion and love. And when you go out and you're worried about your shorts, take the focus off you. Realize that no one's looking, and if they are, maybe they're looking at you, if they're a woman, going, yeah, girl, part of the club. I'm part of the club. Good for you. Happy for you. Go get them, baby. And then again, if they are, let's say, worst case and, you know, nitpicking and judging you, then we can remember that if a person's doing that, and we can look at them with compassion and realize that if a person is showing traits of bullying, that it comes from a lack of something within themselves. And that if they are forming a negative opinion of us, it's actually because it's something reflected within themselves that they don't like. So they need to squash it, and they need to bring you down lower than them so that they can feel better about themselves. So again, the person who's judging you that you're so afraid of is either not judging you, or thinking you're doing a good job, or thinking, oh, you're an idiot, but it's because I really hate myself. So just take the focus off you and realize that a lot of our issues and our insecurities, they're a narrative we've told ourselves in our head on an assumption that's probably not true. And if it is true and it's one of those scenarios, well, does it really matter? And is it worth delaying your happiness or feeling uncomfortable or not allowing yourself to wear cool shorts in summer just because of those reasons? Or is the need for you to feel love, joy, be comfortable and experience your deep living more important than holding back forever or any longer on the whim that other people's opinions are more important than our own comfort? Yeah, it's heavy, but you know, maybe you need to actually take in that hard truth and sit with it and then decide what you're willing and not willing to do for yourself anymore. And it's difficult work, but I'm proud of you and you can do it. Yeah, we can do it together. Okay, so the final S in our shorts method, strengthen the exposure muscle. Okay, so putting all of this into practice, our mental muscles are just like our physical muscles, and repetition and consistency helps us grow and build the strength. So as far as implementing the shorts method, perhaps we'll start really small with, I'm going to wear shorts and I'm going to go out the back and water my lawn, water my garden. I'm going to be outside, people may see me, but I'm not too far from home. I might do that twice this week. The next week, I might wear my shorts to go get petrol. I'm going to only be in and out of the car for a total of 6 minutes, but people will have the ability to see me. Practice that, get home, see how you feel. Do it again. The next thing might be, okay, I've gone out and done the garden, I've done the petrol station, I'm going to go and do a grocery shop in a pair of shorts. Just test it, see what happens. And then eventually you'll be like, oh my God, it's so cool and comfortable doing my stuff in my shorts. I can't believe I ever wasn't. I don't care anymore. Boom. I don't give a shit anymore. And then, yeah, maybe then you'll start being like, well, you know what? It actually didn't hurt me at all to wear my shorts out, so I am going to wear them to the picnic on the weekend. In fact, I'm going to treat myself for all of this big, deep self-work and get myself a cute pair of nice denim shorts that fit me well, that I'm comfortable in, have a high waist and a long inseam, or a low or a high, or they're butt booty shorts. A nice pair that makes me feel happy, that I feel is a reflection of my character, personality, and I'm going to pair it with these sweet little shoes that I've got as well. Get excited, make it an event. When you're going out and you're at the picnic in your cute little new shorts, leave a little smile on your face knowing that you've fucking done something unreal, that you are paving a new pathway for yourself, that you're leading by example to the women in your life, that you are part of the BDYPos club, and the other women around you, they feel it too. And you're showing them, and you're showing yourself that your comfort and your value is more important than the ghost opinion of other people. Hold a smile and be happy and congratulate yourself for being a fucking badass. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, yeah. It's so crazy to me that just the thought of wearing shorts is something that holds such emotional baggage with women. And I really hope that the shorts method, by you listening to this podcast, thinking about those things and taking them away, might give you liberation and freedom. I really hope it does. So just to summarize, the shorts method is: shift the story, honor your comfort, own the mirror, regulate before you leave, and strengthen the exposure muscle. Just remember that the underlying issue is not the shorts at all, but it's how you think about your legs, and you're telling yourself that your legs aren't good. You need to remember that the fact is that women's legs come in all shapes and sizes, and all are beautiful and all are correct, and that it is infactual and untrue to say that there is a right way to have a leg, that there's a correct version of a woman's leg. We're human, and by being human, whether we like it or not, we are bumpy and jiggly and different colors. It's just the way we are. Even at small scale, at large scale, the same. And the value of our legs and what they are meant for is more important, as in playing, jumping, kicking asses. That's what legs are valuable for. Yeah, so my love, I hope that that's been helpful for you. It's, I feel it's quite a critical thing, and I hope that starting small, you give yourself the kudos you deserve when you do your first little practices about getting your shorts out and wearing them somewhere. Sit in the feeling of honoring your rebellion against the fuckery. Sit in that proud moment for yourself and think, I know how difficult this is for me, but I'm doing it anyway. God, that's good. I'm so proud that I'm able to do things like that. I'm proud of myself for feeling ashamed of myself, but pushing through for the greater purpose of showing myself love. It's big, deep stuff, but it's so impactful. And implementing the shorts method is going to have a ripple effect on your whole being. You can use the shorts method for anything, for a tank top, for a skirt, for a hairstyle. You can go, okay, there are ways I can make this change for myself, release myself from this jail by consciously making an effort to move toward a better version of myself. as we have liked to discuss on the podcast in the past, that sometimes we don't need to just feel like we need to click a button and become body confident. It's not that simple. But by believing that the version of us that we want to be is possible and is achievable soon, just by believing that, we already start making subconscious steps, subconscious actions toward the version of her. So that's what we need to do. Oh my goodness me. Wow. Yeah, who would have thought? Anyway, thank you so much for sitting with me today. And if you found this valuable, I would find it really valuable if you could comment, share, like, subscribe, maybe share the Bod Pod on your socials for me and just say this is a good listen. If anyone is looking for a pick-me-up, get onto it. You know, that would be really helpful for me. I'm trying to get myself out there and get this Bod Pod out there. You know, it's a free way for me to bring the things I'm passionate about to the women who need it. And of course it relies on the algorithm, which means if it's beneficial, you need to interact with it for me to then get a greater reach and help more women. So if you could, I'd appreciate it. Also feedback. Maybe I said something you didn't like. Comment that too. Honestly, give me your honest feedback. Don't be afraid, because number one, you might start a comment frenzy and then I might go viral, so bring it on. And number two, I can't grow and get better unless I understand where I can improve. So, you know, I'm not a snowflake. I am sensitive. It's true. I am. But I'm willing to take the feedback because I'm willing to learn. So that's it. That's it from me. Biggest love to you. And congratulations on being you, because you're awesome. I'll speak to you soon.